Hey y'all, it's Liz. Hey, tonight we are going to be making a dessert because we have no desserts in this house as of right now until I make this. But tonight is one of those nights where there's nothing going on, and so I decided to do Lynn's Do Nothing Cake. It's a very, very simple recipe. The first thing you're going to need to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're also going to need a 9 by 13 baking dish that's been greased. Also, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 2 eggs that's slightly beaten. You're also going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 large can of crushed pineapples with the juice. And all we're going to do is just mix it together and pour it in our pan. So let's get started. Okay, so it's just that easy. All you have to do is add your all-purpose flour, your sugar, your egg, vanilla, baking soda, salt, and the 1 can of crushed pineapples into a bowl. You don't need a mixer, you just need a spoon. Mix it all together, and then we're going to pour it in our baking dish and put this in like I said, a 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes. We'll start checking it at the 30-minute mark to make sure it's done. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so while the cake is baking in the oven, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need to make the icing that's going to go over our hot cake when it comes out of the oven. You're going to need a stick of butter, 2/3 cups of evaporated milk, 1 cup of sugar. We're going to take these 3 and put it in the pan, and we're going to melt it and bring this mixture to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we'll reduce the heat and cook it for 5 minutes. Then we're going to remove it from the stove top, and we'll add in 1 cup of chopped nuts and 1 cup of sweetened coconut flakes. After we do that, we're going to pour that mixture over the hot cake once we take it out of the oven. And then we're going to let it sit at room temperature to completely cool, and then we'll slice into it and eat it. Alright, I'll see you when I get ready to make this icing. Okay, so here's our cake. It baked in the oven for 32 minutes. And then I stuck a skewer in there and it came out clean, so it's ready. So now we're going to start on our icing for the cake. Okay, so for our icing, we're going to go ahead and put our butter in. We're going to go ahead and add our milk. Then we're going to go ahead and add our sugar. And we're going to continuously mix this until it comes to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to turn it down to medium heat. And you're going to cook it for 5 minutes. And then we're going to add in our coconut and our chopped nuts, mix it up, and then we're going to pour it over our hot cake. Be right back. Okay, so our mixture has come to a boil. We're going to turn it down. And we're going to let this cook for an additional 5 minutes. Okay, so this is what the icing looks like after we've cooked it for 5 minutes and I added the coconuts and the pecans. So now what we're going to do is take this and we're going to pour this all over this cake and spread it out evenly, and then we're going to let it sit on the countertop for a few hours to completely cool, and then we'll cut into it. Alrighty. See you in a minute. Okay, so this is the final result of our cake after I put the topping on. And just like I said, when the cake is still hot and the mixture is hot, you just pour it on top of the cake and you just let it sit just for a few hours at room temperature to get it to harden up, and it will harden up, the icing will. And then you just cut into it and eat it. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this easy recipe. And this is Lynn's Do Nothing Cake. Alrighty, bye.